In today's video, I will be doing 100 laps around the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix circuit to see just how much I can improve over the course of those 100 laps to prepare myself as best as I can for the final PSGO race of this game. So heading straight into it then, the last race at Abu Dhabi, a pretty decent track. Season so far, I've barely done any proper preparation, which is why I've not been too competitive. In qualifying, in the races have been fine, but just qualifying has lacked a bit. So we're gonna try and properly prepare here. As you can see, the first lap is far away from optimal. Heading into the chicane, just trying to see where the limit is, what curbs you can use, and so on. It's been a while since I've done Abu Dhabi, to be fair, and I didn't do 100 complete laps. So if I messed up somewhere midway through the lap, I restarted and still count that as a lap because it's basically an attempt at setting my best lap time. So it's basically 100 attempts at setting my best possible lap time. As we then head through the hotel section, it's alright, but just not on the limit. You can see losing the rear. And yeah, the first lap is gonna come to a close as we round the final corner. A very tricky lap to nail. 22.2, which is quite slow. It's about a second off pace. So you can see what I did was always load mid-session saves and then just exit, and then yeah, we kept pushing. You can see end of lap number 2, we found our first improvement by 6/10, which put us on a 21.67, and then from here on we started getting marginal gains. On lap number 6 we gain a half tenth, even a bit more through the hairpin, and then we carried that along all the way to the last corner. We peak the last corner, gain a bit more time, and improve by about half a tenth. Then lap number 10 we're up again, heading into the hotel section, but I think this is where I lost time before. Looks a lot more on the limit than on our first lap. Currently just about 400ths up, heading into the last corner once again, and that seems alright. We get a decent exit, 300th improvement, and the lap later once again we find I think another tiny improvement because we have more battery and we're down to a 0.568. And then on lap 16 we found our first major improvement. You can see we were 1.2 tenths up heading into the last sector. We made a bit of a mess of that left-hander there, so we're gonna fully send it heading into the hotel section, the slow tight section of this lap, besides all the high-speed corners that we have. This is where the tires overheat and we really need the tire grip. As we head through the last corner once again, cutting the inside curb, and that was still a slight improvement, our first 0.4 in the session. And then you can see the delta I think here is slightly wrong, or we just gain a lot in the last corner, where we're gonna improve up to a 21.458. And then all the way on lap number 43 we find our next improvement, a good turn 1, and we're nearly a tenth up. That was a really good turn 1. Over a tenth up, to be fair. The first sector is gonna be a 17.248, which is pretty strong. As we then slightly miss the hairpin, although we get a good exit, and now we're 2.5 tenths up. I think the delta is on a slower lap though, as I probably restarted the session to change setup. But anyway, this is looking like a pretty decent lap, heading into the chicane, opening it up all the way, hitting the apex perfectly, and the exit is not ideal, but we're nearly okay. We're 2.5 tenths up, heading into the last sector. Make that 3 tenths as we use some battery there. Split is a 52.04, which is a pretty good split. Can we hold this delta? It's not 0.4 in the delta, but I think it's still supposed to be a pretty decent lap. As we head into the hotel section, 4th gear, you have to use all of the curbs all the way up to the white lines on entry, apex and exit. We're nearly half a second up. This is a slower lap delta for the delta, but the lap time is going to be, I'm not quite sure what it's going to be. It's going to be a 21.39, so it was our first 0.3. And then on lap 46, 3 laps later, we improved. Little screen freeze there, but you can see the last corner was good, and we improved to a, I think that was a 0.382. I didn't quite see that. As we then head 20 laps further down the line, we absolutely nail the chicane, and we're nearly a tenth up here, so this has good personal best potential. you can see heading through the last corner. We're gonna come up to the line. It's gonna be, oh sorry, yeah, this was a point 362 then. And then from here it started getting tough to find more lap time. We simply just kept making mistakes at turn 1 and so on. Lap 78 we do eventually have our best lap. You can see little slide at turn 1, but still a very decent sector 1 as we nailed the apex. This was the best lap, which is why we'll go through it in its entirety, braking all the way on the curb for a hairpin and try and get a really good exit. We go a bit wide off the edge of the curb on the right, which was not perfect, but we carried the speed, which is the most important, as we then head into the tricky chicane break as like the curb starts in a way. Nail the first apex, make sure you nail the second and get a great exit, and we absolutely nail that turn 6-7 chicane. We're 700th up heading into the last sector. It's a 51.94 split through the left-hander, a very clean run. We keep our advantage towards our delta pretty much, still half a tenth up, but I know here I can gain a lot. You can see we fully send it across the curb. We have a bollard underneath our car, which is not ideal, but here we absolutely nail the section and get the exit speed. We're now half a tenth up heading into the last corner. Will this be a point 2? We cut the last corner. It was a very good last corner, and up to the line it's gonna be a 21.293. And yeah, from there I was simply unable to find more time. You can see these are some of the mistakes. Just running wide at places, invalidating, losing the rear, just over pushing, you can see. So there we go. I have just completed 100 laps of Abu Dhabi. I'm fully sweating. It's so hot in my room. Decent improvement, I think, based on the times, nearly 4 tenths, which is pretty decent. I think made some setup tweaks, especially at the end. I just tried to find something on the setup um, to help me find time in any corner. Try different battery management, but we'll take it. It's a 4 tenth improvement pretty much. We won't count the first lap as that was more the warm-up lap. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see this video for another track, let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, from me, it's take care and goodbye.